What's up, shoe fanatics? We're back again with another review. Y'all know why we're here, so let's get right into it. Now, before we do me a favor, watch the whole video. I'm gonna make sure I get you guys some good B-rolls. Make sure I tell you the history of the shoe, get you some on-foot shots, just talk about the shoe in general. I appreciate you guys sticking in there with me. Let's pop this bad boy open. Let's get it cracking. Standard Just Do It tape, as usual. Yes, indeed. I know what we do with these guys. Not your standard Air Jordan 1 box. What we do have instead is an Air Jordan box that is different in nature. Instead of your traditional black and red Jordan box, you have a gray and silver Jordan 1 box. Size tag reads Air Jordan 1 High OG CO.JP. Colorway is white, metallic silver. Now, I believe part of the reason why this box is silver in the first place, this shoe came with, in certain releases, a silver briefcase. Immediately, you see the paper is much different than your standard Air Jordan 1 paper. This is a white paper with silver Jumpmans on it. And of course, it does have the year from initial release date till this year. And that release date is 2001 until, of course, right now, 2020. And yes, sir, yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you the Air Jordan 1 CO.JP Dark Navy. This shoe is everything I thought it was going to be and then some. Let's take a look at the details of the shoe, take a look at the materials, and some of the differences between a standard Air Jordan 1 and these joints right here. On this particular shoe, we have some pretty soft tumbled leather. That tumbled leather is in fact present on the toe cap, which you can press down or rub your finger across and see that it is a very nice soft material. It is of course present on the tongue from the meaning of the toe up to the tongue top. That same material is also present on the upper, adorning around the swoosh, as well as on the collar surrounding the top of the shoe. The navy blue is a nubuck material that is very soft to the touch and provides a great contrast between the tumbled leather and itself. Taking a closer look at the swoosh, you will see that it appear to be a leather silver metallic swoosh, which really stands out from the pack. Flipping it around to the sole, you can indeed see that it is a navy blue sole with a standard Air Jordan 1 traction design on it. Coming up top, in place of a standard stitched or debossed Air Jordan 1, we do in fact have a bubbled Air Jordan 1 logo. We're going to pull the laces out, and we can see here that these are a somewhat rope style laces. They're not the typical flat Jordan 1 laces that you receive, which I think is a great touch. And this navy colored lace really fits well with the shoe and design. Another great thing I absolutely love is when Jordan Brand hooks us up with a pair of spare laces. This particular case, they gave us a white pair of laces to go along with the dark navy that's provided in the shoe itself. We're gonna get to a part of the shoe that some purists or some Jordan 1 enthusiasts may not particularly like. But if you take a look at the tongue is leather all the way, as I mentioned, from the top of the toe portion all the way up to the top of the collar. And so what you have is a thin, flimsy feeling leather tongue as opposed to the cloth tongue that we're all so used to. What you'll also notice that's much different is that on the tongue itself is a stitched Nike Air or maybe embroidered Nike Air logo. Now that logo is in lieu of a patch that typically adorns every Jordan 1 in the modern era. So there's very little cushioning to this tongue as opposed to some of the, more newer ones. This, again, for the history of the shoe, is a re-release of almost 20 years ago, the CO.JP, which was a Japan-only exclusive. That shoe only had 3,000 pairs released, and each of those pairs is individually numbered, and I think they're very well sought after and very much a very important shoe for the culture. So what Jordan Brand decided to do was give us a re-release and make it as close to the OG, with the exception of this Nike Air stitch. The logo that was stitched on that shoe was a Jumpman logo. Pulling out the shoe insert, hopefully the camera will pick this up as I always say, you should be able to see that there is a CO.JP, a nice navy blue insole with white lettering. So since I don't have an original pair to compare it to, I'm going to assume that the individually numbered pairs that came out in 2001, the numbered pairs had stitching on the back of the tongue. What we have on this particular pair is a stitched patch that again has the time the original shoe was released until now. I'll go ahead and take a look at that. And that patch does indeed have 2001 to 2020. That original shoe only had 3,000 pairs made. And man, I tell you, it feels like there was only 3,000 pairs of these made. I don't have inside track information. I don't know how many pairs were released of this. I thought I heard somewhere in the vicinity of 90,000, but that could be off. Nike tried to finesse me with some kind of okie doke, and to be honest, I don't know how I hit on this. Well, some of you may notice that you'll get a notification from time to time that says third-party payment failed. Now, I tried to check out on my desktop, and that was the exact notification that I got. So I thought I was dead in the water. So once I signed out and signed back in, I tried to go for my size again, and I never got any indication that I had hit on this shoe. I also, on my phone, managed to check out for my son and daughter a size 9C toddler one, and I also hit on that. So that's actually on the way, and I'll put on my Instagram up, you know, when it gets here. But I had no idea until I actually got the confirmation that I hit on this shoe to go along with it. And hey, it worked out. Again, we have a tendency to overhype certain things and call this a Jordan 1 Jordan of the year, blah, 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 blah. But hey, this is going to be up there. I'm soon going to be releasing the top 10 Jordans of the year. Pretty sure this guy is going to make the cut. Shout out to 313 Retro Queen. We basically had a short conversation, and she kind of feels the same way I feel, except she's hardcore into it. It's very difficult to acquire a shoe that's in a pack and not go after the other pairs in the pack. That being said, this shoe is a third in a series of a pack. The first of which being the silver version of the CO.JP, which unfortunately I did strike out on. You can take a look at that up here. And of course, the second of which I'm talking about is the Jordan Biohack. Now, the Biohack does not have that CO.JP branding that the other two pairs do have. But this one, as you can tell by the silver metallic swoosh, does belong to the Japan family. And some naming conventions where you do find this Biohack shoe does have Japan Biohack somewhere written in it. Make no mistake though, this is part of the Japan Co-Pack. So at this point, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I can honestly say between this pair, the smoke gray, the dark mocha, court purple, the Biohack, and a few other pairs here and there, I'm thoroughly satisfied with this being my last Jordan 1 pickup of the year. Of course, I'm going to try to go after those black gold metallic, but this guy definitely takes the cake. There's not a whole lot that needs to be said about this shoe. I don't think that you have to go absolutely gaga and go out of your way to try to pick this shoe up, unless you're, of course, like 313 Retro Queen, and you have to have the entire pack. She managed to fill hers out. I think I'm going to try to do the same. That being said, what we know is that no Jordan 1 is safe. And what that means, that no Jordan 1 is safe from resale prices. And I'm sure at some point, these are going to skyrocket in the future. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably going to keep them on ice for at least a year. I'm obviously going to go ahead and put them on feet so you can see. I did not get a chance to get any extra laces for this one. I do think that this shoe is also very versatile, just like the dark mocha. You can put a bunch of different lace colors in here. I think it'll really, really, really pop. I do think this shoe is a must-have for any collector. But if you also have the Jordan 1 Storm Blue, or maybe you have the UNC Obsidians, what you have here is another white and navy Jordan 1. So you have to ask yourself, how important is it that I have this shoe over those other ones? Let me show you. Ultimately, you have to make a decision about what Jordan 1s fit your needs and your budget the best. I'm fortunate to be able to have this shoe and this one. It's just a great thing to have options. If options aren't available to you, feel free to pick one or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this video to a close. Again, I appreciate you guys sticking there with me. It's been a fantastic 8 months. 2020 has been a doozy, but I've been blessed and fortunate to cop a couple of these pairs so I could bring them to you. I thank you guys for hanging in there with me. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, do all that good stuff. Check the on feet. Follow me on Instagram, J_shoe_fanatic. I appreciate you. We're gonna see how many reviews come for the rest of the year. Check my copper drop for December coming up at the end of this month. And we're gonna go for those fire red 4s too. So stick around, yo. I appreciate it. Peace.